Hi, chess trap lovers! I have 7 deadly traps for the black pieces. These traps are absolutely insane and very hard for your opponents to avoid. Let's go rock and roll. Trap number 1.
We have French defense, exchange variation. e4, e6, after d4, mainline d5. If pawn takes, exchange variation. We take back. If white continues with the most aggressive move, pawn to c4. What the idea? If you capture, it will only help activate white's light-squared bishop. So there's no need to capture, we just protect the pawn instead. After white applies pressure to your king side, the bishop pins the knight. The pawn is a bit problematic now. After queen recaptures, your king side structure will immediately collapse. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and now there are double pawns, which is not ideal. Please go ahead and protect this pawn. If pawn takes, yes, bishop takes. Bishop goes to e7, and the next move is to castle kingside. After white develops the minor pieces, be careful, your bishop is under threat. This knight will not hesitate to strike your bishop. After queen recaptures, bishop takes knight, you will soon end up with isolated doubled pawns. Please pause the video. What is the move? Okay, we pretend to ignore that. Just continue with knight c6. If knight takes bishop, queen recaptures. Look, we attacking d4 twice. If white careless, your queen is ready to punish the bishop. At the same time, your king is just one move away from castling queenside. So after bishop takes knight, slightly protect pawn on d4. Don't capture bishop. Let's bombard white's king immediately. Check. If queen blocks, just takes. Or if king moves, don't capture bishop. Yes, checkmate. Devastating in just 10 moves. Let's move on. Trap number 2. We're going up against the center game with the burger variation. Knight c6 attacking queen, after queen moves. Burger variation. If pawn e5 attacks the knight, we continue by attacking the queen while also putting pressure on e5 twice. Or, after the development of the light-squared bishop, move to c4, usually followed by the knight to f3 and a kingside castling. Okay, let's attack the bishop. And after the bishop retreats, still, keep its focus on the king side. No problem. Continue the development of the dark-squared bishop with check. If pawn blocks, also counterattacking your bishop. Please feel free to pause the video. What should you play? No, there's no need for bishop a4, then b6 attacking the queen. That's too slow. Otherwise, the neighbor's cat will steal the fish first. You all, go ahead and attack the white queen right away. Bro, your bishop is hanging? What? Wait. Something seems wrong. Okay, it's fine. It's already too late anyway. After queen takes, your bishop got infected by a virus. Yes! Knight d3. Check. After any king move, we feast. White queen, dead. Okay, we go back. Or, if the queen does not capture the bishop, but instead moves to g3. The move looks very dangerous. Ready to strike the knight. The pawn is in trouble. Don't play passive and boring moves like blocking the queen's vision to b7. Please pause the video again. What is the winning move? Here we go. Look at the queen and king. They're about to faint. They can't believe what you've done. If king takes, gives a check. And queen will be lost. Or, if the queen captures the bishop, it's the same story. You're about to claim the dream queen from white's kingdom. From here, the game becomes much easier for you to continue. So, enjoy your game. You win! Let's go! Trap number 3. Now, we're going to try to crush the queen's gambit with Albin counter Gambit. And after Gambit is accepted, top move, we push the pawn forward. According to the Lichess database, the most common move here is knight to f3. Attack the pawn on d4 together with queen. So we need one more defender to protect pawn on d4. Okay, we bring the knight out of its stable. White is usually uncomfortable with your pawn, with pawn e3. You all don't take e3 because there will be a potential exchange of queens. We activate all the pieces. The bishop can slide like a missile. Yes! Check. If white blocks with the counter move, now it's time to capture the pawn. Of course, the bishop needs to react quickly. The bishop must not hit the pawn because it's pinned. If pawn takes, bishop takes. Simple as that. White will have an isolated doubled pawn. Obviously, this is not ideal because we are still far from the endgame. And you can continue with the queen to e7, pressing e5 twice. Bishop d7, and long castling. Or if white responds with the most popular move, bishop takes bishop. Don't. Be patient for a moment before trading queens. Capture the pawn first, gives check. King takes, queen is gone. So, king e2. Smash it! King takes back! Knight takes bishop. Look, you're up by a pawn, and you also have a pass pawn just one step away from promotion. This is really dangerous for your opponent. The computer gives white a value of minus 1.2. If king dares to touch your pawn, you jump the knight to c2. Hey rook, how are you doing? By the way, I haven't had breakfast yet this morning. Let's say white responds with bishop to e2, preparing the rook to attack the pawn. Stay calm, brother. Let's develop the other minor piece. White must not be careless in this position. Bishop can simply capture the knight. After rook takes, then the knight collects the pawn. But the more dangerous move here is the knight jump to c2. The rook will be yours. So after knight jumps, it saves itself, and also rook in the corner is active. No problemo. It's okay. Just go ahead, castling long, and deliver check right away. King can move, or knight can protect the king. Whatever it is, you still win. Just go ahead, attack the rook. Wherever rook moves, your move stays the same. Rook b1. Knight gives check. Then bishop takes rook. Even if the rook swings to c1 instead. Smothered. Checkmate. Trap number 4. We have Italian game.
Gioco piano.
Wow!
e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Then bishop c4, Italian game.
Bishop c5. Gioco piano. After white castling short. Knight f6. Then castle kingside. Also knight ready to beat the pawn. So usually rook moves the e1. Direct guard e4. Just continue castling. Please check the Lichess database. The most common move is the pawn to c3. Clearly, this is a preparation for d4. And also, according to the Lichess database, the popular move for black is pushing the pawn to d6. But I don't really recommend this move because it will lead to a queen exchange. You guys just play queen to e7. And after white's plan is played, the consistent move is also a top move, attacking bishop and pawn. Just takes. After e5, knight has to move. We strike back at the pawn 3 times. After c takes d, guarding e-pawn, where will you save your bishop? In many cases, bishop usually goes to b4 to attack the rook. Or, with a passive move, the bishop goes to b6. Okay, I have a little tip for you all. And this position happens quite often. This situation or formation often occurs in the Italian game or the Ruy Lopez opening. What's the point of that? Pay attention to white's king's rook position. If you notice that this rook is no longer on f1, then this is your opportunity to execute the tactic. We play the Gambit style. Knight sacrifice. Then, you capture the knight, giving check, and continue by taking the pawn with the bishop. So, 99% of players will go ahead and capture the free knight. But, after your queen moves, the defense of white's king's side shifts. This pair of pawns can't be saved together. And, believe me, for a human player, white really struggles to find the right move in this position. The pawn must not be pushed. It attacks the queen. Checkmate in 2 moves. Queen takes, then queen takes f2, mate. White usually makes the approach with the knight to f3, attacking the queen and defending h2. This is a blunder move. Yes, queen check. Only moves. Please find your best move. I'll give you 10 seconds to think, starting now. Congratulations to those of you who found this move. The king must not capture the queen because it's protected by the bishop. So, like it or not, the rook has to capture the queen. Smothered mate! A very beautiful tactical combination, ending in a spectacular checkmate. Let's go back. What if here the knight doesn't jump to f3, but instead the pawn kicks that annoying knight? Let's ignore it for a moment, bro. Just takes, check. Only move. We regain the minor piece. Even though the material is equal, the computer gives white a -2.8. You are clearly better. We attack the pawn twice. The rook will not survive. The queen goes to g3, then to h2, checkmate. Or maybe the pawn is pushed, preparing the development of the minor pieces, and the rook can go to a more active file. Bro, yes! You forgot about your knight! What? Really? Game over. Trap number 5. Now we are going to face the wayward queen attack. Scholar's checkmate. Okay, we push the pawn. Queen has to move. Queen will usually go to f3. Still with the hope of a checkmate, we block the queen's access, then bishop goes to g7, and we castle kingside. Look, it's very easy to neutralize the scholar's mate threat. But here, there is a typical player who is very impatient and wants to checkmate the king right away. Be careful, you all. Don't be careless by continuing with the bishop to g7. Of course, the pawn will keep advancing. After your knight moves away, yes, queen takes on f7, delivering checkmate. Please, you all, attack the queen. Attack c2. The queen, of course, is overloaded. It also has to defend g4 pawn. So after the queen retreats, it protects its pawn. You have successfully neutralized the scholar's mate threat completely. Whatever captures your pawn, say e takes d, we regain the pawn with tempo. Look, the queen is trapped. If pawn blocks, what is your next move? We play a more vicious counterattack. If the pawn captures the knight, you will win big material. White queen dead! Or, if the pawn prefers to capture the bishop instead, say to them, thank you very much. Queen check. Good job, boy. Only moves! Mate! Let's move on. Trap number 6. I've got a sneaky trap that destroys the London system. With Steinitz counter gambit! If d takes c, you push the pawn and allow the dark-squared bishop to capture it. Or you can go with the queen, give check, and take this guy. And the knight hops in, targeting the pawn. If this London bishop has a personal vendetta against your knight, don't be sad. Rook recaptures. If pawn takes, e6. Then bishop takes, knight f6. And short castle. Okay. For example, white can respond with queen to d4, protecting the pawn and at the same time attacking your pawn on g7. Okay, no problem. You attack the pawn, Then the pawn is pushed to protect its sibling. Please push the pawn, putting pressure on c5. If c takes b6, rook recaptures. Then rook captures on b4 again, supported by the bishop. Also, your queen hasn't had breakfast yet. Here, naturally the pawn will protect the pawn. Let's brutal. Queen has to go. Hey bro, there's no way the queen can go. Your rook is hanging, right? You're kidding. Just let it be. Soon that pawn is going to explode. Okay, puzzle time. Your task is to find checkmate in just 3 moves. Thanks. Trap number 7. We have the English opening! And after the standard moves, main line, the theory here is not pawn takes pawn, because after knight f3, white will fight for the center. Here, your pawn is used to balance the center. Continue developing and protecting the pawn. After normal development, white try to open up the dark squared bishop. Okay, prepare short castling. Bishop develops. Before castling, you disturb this bishop. Bishop back. Please feel free to pause the video. What is your best move? Let's go brutal. If rook takes knight or any move, continue attack the king. If rook takes, obviously the queen takes the rook, check. Pawn blocks. Just taking it has no real impact. King moves. Knight jumps in and checkmate. Or if the king simply steps off his throne, knight jumps to d4, check. Only moves. Yes, queen takes and mate. Okay, let's go back. But what if the rook doesn't capture the bishop and instead the king moves? Knight check. King moves. Another check. If the king takes the pawn, queen g5, mate. So after the king captures the knight, queen continues with check. Pawn blocks. Queen takes pawn, checkmate. Or even if the king moves, this is even more painful. Checkmate with a pawn. Okay, those are 7 deadly and tricky traps for the black pieces. Stay tuned for more amazing traps, only on Chess Tricky. Hope you enjoyed it and hope it was useful. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.